Ain't it fun?
Coming up, hey, we're going to churn our table a little bit and get on the little table here because we have women that are going to be joining us to talk about small businesses. We are going to meet a panel of successful female business owners, pick their brains a little bit to find out what makes them tick. That's next. Well, October is National Women's Small Business Month, and this morning we are joined by a panel of successful women business owners who are going to share some inspiration to women who may out there be thinking, contemplating starting your own business. And we have with us, we'll go around the table, Karen Hough. She is from ImprovEdge. Jacqueline Parasetsky, you know her from Skin Perfect. Dr. Julia Kaiser from Worthington Optimal Wellness. And Barb Smoot with Women for Economic Leadership Development, WELD, who is also with us today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Interesting to have a table full of women giving other women advice at a time where, you know, maybe 10 years ago we wouldn't have so easily been able to get together and talk this way. So first of all, congratulations to all of you for being successful. It's fabulous. I want to go around the table and find out how you got started. And Jacqueline, say first what your business is. I know people probably know from seeing you here, but what is your business? How'd you get started?
It's Skin Perfect Spas, and I got started by having an epiphany when I was working in a plastic surgery office to do something a little bit different where we could offer wellness type services where it became a part of someone's life that was visiting a spa. So we created a membership program, and that's really what I left OSU plastic surgery and went off on my own, and 10 years later.
10 years, there you go. What about you, Dr. Kaiser?
Well, I'm director of Worthington Optimal Wellness, and we're a wellness center, and I really got started because of a personal chiropractic miracle. I'd had migraines since I had been a kid, been to doctor after doctor after doctor, and finally saw a chiropractor and never had another migraine again.
And there you go.
Yep.
Started your own practice. Amazing. Right. Karen, what about you?
Very different. I first was a professional actor. I did improv with Second City and learned how to do that at Yale. Great career in film and TV. But then I went into network engineering. Which was crazy different, yeah. I found that I was very successful as a business person because I had these skills that allowed me to be adaptable. So luckily I found a few universities that were willing to do psychology and neuroscience research with me. And now we apply the passion for improv to executives everywhere. You can be better at anything you do if you apply improv.
Yeah, we went through a little bit of that training last week, was it?
We did. You were fantastic.
Oh, I don't know about all that. If there's anything I could do, I can wing it.
There you go.
It's off to you, Barb. Tell us about how you got involved with WELD.
I started with WELD as a volunteer, and I was on the board and ended up liking it so much that I came on as the first president and CEO of the organization and just celebrated my 7th anniversary.
That's fabulous. You know, none of these climbs up the ladder are from A to Z. You know, there are always going to be zigs and zags in any route you take to try to get to a successful place in life. We'll start back with you, Barb. What have you seen as some challenges for you?
For me personally, it's getting women the access to top levels of leadership, getting more women on corporate boards where they can really influence the culture of organizations from the top, and seeing women-owned businesses get freer access to capital so that they can deploy their services out into the communities that they serve and operate in.
Is that getting better?
It's getting better slightly, but at a snail's pace, and you know, there are statistics that show it'll be 100 years from now before you really start to see the parity that we need to see.
And Barb, I identify with that. One of the big problems I had, and again, Barb Smoot's been a huge supporter of me throughout this time, is that when I first started, 3 businesses turned me down for a loan, and one actually admitted it was because I was a woman.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? I know.
Yes.
And so my husband said, hey,
Tell me which one it was.
No, I will never tell. But my husband said, you know, I believe in you. Let's use our home equity line and finance the beginning. And
Whatever
now we work for the Fortune 500. So
good for you.
I have the best story with that. I was on a call trying to get financing for some equipment.
Yeah.
And when I was on the call, they asked me, they said, well, when is your husband coming on the call?
Oh.
yes. Unbelievable.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I'm actually the owner, so you'll be speaking with me.
Right. Good for you. Have you had a similar
Exact same experience when I first got started was the, you know, getting the loan. And we did the exact same thing, ended up doing a home equity loan because I could not get a loan to start the practice. But I find now my internal struggle is trying to reconcile being a healer and a nurturer and a businesswoman and an entrepreneur.
That's
interesting.
interesting.
That's an interesting conundrum for me.
Do you think men have that issue?
I don't think as much.
The nurture piece isn't
I don't think as
necessarily
much.
there. So where does that cause a problem for you, the nurture piece?
Well, it doesn't cause necessarily a problem, but I tend to want to give more away, you know, and you have to balance that with the business and the concern and the love you have for your patients, to running a business and paying a staff and all of those pieces that have to be in there. But when they look at statistics, even all women physicians make less than men physicians.
Interesting. Barb, do you think women are good at helping each other out, or is that competition vein still running, so pulsing through them because we have so fewer opportunities?
The human tendency is to focus on the negative. It's the one or two stories you may hear about women not supporting each other, but as you look in the Central Ohio community and beyond, women are supporting each other left and right. They're opening doors, they're giving business to one another, they're referring one another.
That's great.
If we could just close some of the gaps around the credit gap and deploy that capital back into these businesses, we wouldn't have some of the economic challenges that we have today.
What do you think about when you get into the boardroom, you know, the proportion, the percentages, women to men? Do you think there's going to be a shift? Do you think we'll see more women in the boardroom? Because there's just a different level of sensibility that a woman can bring to the conversation.
Some companies actually get it. You know, they have that magic number of 3 or more women in their boardroom. Some companies are still sitting at 0 women in their boardroom, so they're failing to recognize the profit and economic returns by having 3 or more women in their board. You know, it's that part isn't rocket science. If you want to make more money and be more profitable, how about getting these 3 women in your boardroom?
But the numbers are there to prove that we do bring a different viewpoint, that we bring greater value, that there needs to be a more diverse board.
Collaborative, we do our homework.
What would you do differently?
Oh man, what would I do differently? I would get surrounded by more women entrepreneurs early on in my career.
Okay.
I feel that collaborative support of hearing each other, that really helps build your self-confidence and realize they're going through it too.
Yeah.
So I was kind of a lone wolf for so long because I was shy, and then once I started getting out in the community, surrounded by amazing women like these, that's when my career really started changing. Getting a mentor, got a business coach, that changed, and it was females.
Good. Julia?
I think for me is exactly what Barb said, not focusing on the obstacles and the negative, but really focusing on my passion, my purpose, the why that I did what I'm doing.
Follow your love.
Yep.
Karen?
Delegate and get more people on board faster.
Very good.
Yeah.
And Barb?
Uplifting others. You know, good comes back at you. You sow good, you reap good.
Well, and you're all...
Yes.
Absolutely.
You are all shining examples of that. So thank you so much for sharing. It can be done. See? Right here, you have a testimony to all of that. Thank you, everybody. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back.